So I have tried woodworking, restoring, wood turning, but I've never tried wood carving. So in this video, I'm going to get a pretty budget-friendly wood carving set, and then I'm going to unbox it and see if they're any good. So stay tuned. So let's order this budget-friendly wood carving set. I'm getting this one. It's got 5 different carving chisels, some gloves, and some other things. Okay, so the packet should be arriving soon. So, wait, did you just hear that? Hey, that's the package. I'll go and collect it. I'll just give it to me. Thank you. So now the package has arrived. I'm just going to unbox it and see if everything I bought is in here. One thing I must say is that they packaged it up really nice. That they've got all the tools and everything. So I'll unbox it, I'll put it on fast forward while I take everything out, and then I'll explain what everything is and what they're used for. So this is what comes in the packet. So we've got 2 cut-proof gloves. I'll do some testing to see if they really are cut-proof. We've got some little piece of leather. That's to sort of clean the blade. We've got this. This is a sharpening stone. This is a piece of sandpaper. This is a little spoon blank, so I can get right into spoon carving without having to cut one. It was like $2 extra for this, so I decided to get this as well. And we've got the spoon carving one to hollow out the inside. We've got this one, and then we've got 2 knives. One's a big knife and one's a small knife. And those handles are just so nice. They're beautiful walnut, and the grain in them is just beautiful. Like, look how nice that handle is. That's really nice. So I guess it's time to see if these gloves are really cut proof, and then it's time to get right into some carving. Well, it's time to see if these gloves are really cut proof. So let's do some testing. But wait. If you think I'm just gonna stab myself with a knife without knowing if it's safe or not, then you're very wrong. I value my hands the way they are. So before I stab myself with these knives, I'm going to turn into Scientific Sam. And I'm going to say why I'm doing this. So if you look right here, for a start, it says level 5 cut resistance. So it's a level 5 cut level. And if I go on Google and type that in, you can see that that is pretty good cut resistance. It even says that the gloves are used for like cutting up meat and stuff like that. So armed with that knowledge, I can go on to the testing without worrying about my hands getting cut. So let's get back onto cutting my hand, which hopefully won't happen. Okay, so I've got the knife. Let's see if it really is cut proof. I'm doing the same test which the person on the ad did. I'm going to start myself really hard with this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, just joking, I'm not going to do that. Because if you look really close into the fibers of this, it's it's sewed with really strong material, but in between there's little gaps. So it's cut proof when you do things like this. That's pretty cut proof. But if somehow you ever get a stab with that, it will find its way through these little holes and you will get a very punctured hand. So it's cut proof when you go across there. As you can see, it's not cutting it strong material, but it is not stab proof. So let's have a look at the quality of these tools. There is a cheaper version, it's just pine, but I decided to get this version. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's more durable, the type of wood, and it's nice walnut. If you look, there are a few scratches and little nicks in the material, in the wood, but especially like here. But for the price, that's still wonderful. There's going to be probably get quite a few more if like I accidentally drop it or it gets cut. But my favorite tool by far is definitely this tool. The grain in it is just so beautiful. So it comes with these little plastic ones to just keep the edge safe, like the top, so if it bangs against something like some concrete, it shouldn't snap off, and it's also for your own safety. So let's say your tool isn't sharp, let's say it's not sharp enough and you want it to cut more smoothly or something. Well, you get your sharpening stone, you put a little bit of water on it, and then you get your tool, hold it on the angle of this blade is on, so you look down, you like make it rest across there, pretend you're gluing it. This is wood and you're gluing it to another piece of wood, pretend you're just gluing it on there, making it completely flush like that, and then now it's on that position. Then you can rub it and then that sharpens it. So I'll just do that, and once you've just done one side, then you just flip it around and do the other side. And then once you've sharpened it, then you can just remove the stuff on here or just wipe it off with a tissue. So just when you wipe it off, don't obviously wipe it off this way because it got sliced with the tissue into your hands. You wipe it off this way so the blade's facing out, so you can safely wipe the edge. And then the blade is sharper. See how it takes nicer slices than it did before? So it's sharper. That goes for every wood turning, every carving tool. You can just sharpen it just like that. And when you're wood carving, I've got a little tip. So if you're wood carving this, for example, you have this hand with a glove on, just in case you accidentally slice and get into your hand. But you leave this hand without any gloves on, because you can have the grip. Because if you have both hands with both gloves on, then you don't have much grip and the knife slips out of your hand. So one glove on the piece of wood, but you don't have to have a glove on when you're carving, the hand which is holding the tool. And straight out of the box with just a really quick sharpen, you can see that it's really sharp. Look. So it's really sharp. These tools, they just slice through the wood like butter. So they're really good out of the box. I recommend you give them a quick sharpen, but after you've given it a sharpen, then you can just get right into carving. So it's out of the box, it's perfectly okay, but if you sharpen it, it just gives it a little bit more of that edge. So I recommend you sharpen it. But you could still use it out of the box, straight out of the box. And after you have sharpened your wood turning tool with just your sharpening stone, you don't need to sharpen it very often. You can just get the leather strip and this, and you just rub it on here until you've got a nice covering. It's green, so you can rub it on. It's almost like painting the leather strip. You rub it on like that, and then you can just get this, and then you rub it like that, and then that burnishes it. So you only need to sharpen it once, and then you can burnish it, and then that just gives it edge. It doesn't wear down the steel, so you can have your knife for longer, and it just keeps it sharp. And I have a funny little story. When I bought these wood carving tools, it never said anything about getting this. I don't know really too much what it is. What I do know is just that it's a piece of sandpaper. They didn't tell me this was coming in the mail, so I mean, pretty good deal. Something which come in the mail which they didn't even tell you it was coming, but I guess, well, since I didn't know it was coming in the mail and it didn't say anything about it, on the ad it had nothing to do with this, so I'm guessing you just get this, and if your tool gets rusty, you just rub it up and down to remove the rust. But I don't want to do that because my tool is not rusty, and it will just leave scratches because it is pretty rough sandpaper. So yeah, if you buy this might come with it. And on the level of 1 to 10 of how comfortable these gloves are, I'll put them both on and I'll rate it. Wow, those are actually really comfortable. You can really move your hand and fingers. Like some gloves, they're sort of a bit stiff, but this one's really quite nice. You can move it quite freely. So I'll give this the comfortable rating of about 9. It's really nice and comfortable, and it protects your hands. So 9 out of 10. I really like them. So that will have to wrap up today's video. And this Saturday, I'll be releasing my first ever proper carving project video using the tools which I reviewed in this video. So stay tuned. And remember, on Saturday, this Saturday, I'm going to be I'm going to be carving something with these wood turning. I keep saying wood turning, but I'm so used to wood turn things. Wood carving tools. So, remember, stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to try this again. I just love doing this. Just stabbing it into a piece of wood. It just feels so cool. The only problem is with these gloves is that I can't pause my camera with the gloves on. Okay, guys. Why do I sound so happy? Hi, Gut. No. How can I start this off? So guys. No, it sounds. So guys, that will have to wrap up today's. Yeah, I'll do that. Yes, there we go. And thank you for being part of my YouTube community. This sounds weird. Part of my journey in. Oh, just don't put this in the bloopers.